Hi, I'm Nick. I've been a digital nomad for 20 years, traveling to 73 countries so far. Today I'm going to tell you about 10 digital nomad mistakes that I've made myself and how you can avoid them. Coming up. Welcome to the Digital Nomad on Fire YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about, from Portugal where I am, I'm going to talk about 10 digital nomad mistakes. And these are all things that I've done, and they're things I see people do quite a lot. So starting with number one is the classic mistake, overpacking. I now try to, however much stuff you think you're going to need, you'll need about half that amount. Trust me. I tend to only travel hand luggage only now. I put the bag under the seat in front when I travel. That's it. Unless I'm snowboarding and taking a snowboard with me. Don't overpack. Take as little as possible, and that's probably still too much. If you don't believe me, just try a quick weekend trip. Try a short trip with a carry-on bag only. Now, I have a packing video coming out soon that will go over several hacks I have and ways to save space using things like compression sacks and smaller bottles of toiletries and stuff. Watch out for that, like and subscribe, and you'll get notified when that video comes up. But just try and experiment. Try taking way less stuff. See if you miss it. Like I traveled for 1.5 years hand luggage only through the winter in Germany and China through to the tropical heat of Southeast Asia. Hand luggage only, no problem. Number 2, trying to pack for any situation. Bringing a first aid kit, 5 types of shoes, many heavy pants, a towel. Towel's a classic one. You do not need a towel traveling. You will not need one. In 20 years of travel, I've literally only once stayed somewhere where they didn't have a towel to rent. This was in Koh Chang in Thailand, and there was a shop next door selling towels for $3. Everywhere has towels. You'll be able to get a towel. So that's just one little thing. But yeah, don't try and take everything you need. Now, if you want to take a first aid kit, take a first aid kit. I never take a first aid kit. I've needed first aid materials. There's usually a pharmacy. This Airbnb I'm staying in has a first aid kit. Your accommodation will have a first aid kit. You probably don't need a first aid kit. Shoes are another really awkward one. Shoes are heavy. You can probably get away with one pair of shoes. Now, I usually travel with one pair of Havaianas flip-flops, which you can see here, I guess. Havaianas flip-flops are great, and a pair of trainers. That's it. If they're black trainers, you can get away with them in a smart situation as well. So you don't need a lot of shoes. Shoes are another one. So just whatever you think you're going to need, bring less, do a trial trip, and you'll probably find out it's fine, or you'll find out what you actually do really need. Number 3, heavy winter clothes. So even if you're going to be in cold environments, which I've traveled through a lot, you don't need heavy winter clothes. You can layer things up, use a merino wool base layer, which I love merino wool, it's kind of a miracle material. Or a puffer jacket is another great way to stay really warm, but that compacts down if you don't need it for your whole trip. So layer up, use a puffer jacket. Taking a day pack. This is another thing I see all the time. People take a main big travel backpack and a day pack. You don't need to take a separate day pack. Unless you could use a very small compressible day pack that will pack down into something about this size. This is something I now travel with. You push the bag into itself and it becomes so small that can actually be a good day pack. But also my main travel bag is either 23 or 28 litres, depending which bag I take with me. That's small enough to use as a day pack, especially because it compresses down a bit. So do not take a normal sized day pack. That will instantly cut out a couple of kilograms of weight just by itself and bulk. Packing cubes. Packing cubes can be okay, but they don't give you any compression. This is why compression sacks can be better. So you'll see this in my packing video, but a compression sack, it's a bit like a sleeping bag container. Put all your clothes in there, clothes that you don't mind being creased anyway, pull it down, it compresses it to, you save 1/3 or even 2/3 of the size of the clothes, and that can mean you can take a smaller bag, which is in itself lighter, etc., etc. So it's a virtuous cycle. An external hard drive for your laptop. Now, I hate external hard drives. It's not 1995. You don't need an external hard drive. A photographer, I need an external hard drive. No, you don't. Buy a computer with more internal storage, firstly. Secondly, if that's internal storage isn't enough, buy thumb drives. You can put a little USB thumb drive in your computer. That's fine. Use an SD card reader and have multiple SD cards. Having a 2.5-inch external hard drive hanging off your computer is aesthetically terrible, and spinning hard drives can break. They've got moving parts. If it's an SSD, there's no reason for an SSD to be that big. So if you're traveling with a computer, there's no reason to have an external hard drive like that. So that's a big mistake, I think. Big water bottle. So I see people traveling with these huge tin water bottles hanging off their bag. Why? Why do you need that? It's ludicrous. Personally, now I do try and avoid plastic. When I'm at home, I do have a big stainless steel water bottle. That's a vacuum that I put cold water in the summer. But that's not good for traveling. When I'm traveling, I just buy bottles of water, put that bottle in my bag. Done. Especially if you're in a country where you can't drink the tap water, that's a great way of doing it. If you are in a country where you can drink the tap water, you can top that bottle up. No problem. If it's a hard, rigid, metal water bottle, you're just adding a lot of bulk and weight to your bag, and you can't just throw it away. If I'm at the airport, I can just throw away my water bottle and buy another one. So big water bottles, I'd say, are a no-no. Waterproof pack cover's a classic. You see this with a lot of new backpackers. They've got a waterproof cover with their backpack, so they just put it on. Like, if your backpack leaks, get a waterproof backpack, or just get a backpack that doesn't suck as much. Like, this is just a classic case of extra weight that's not really needed. I've heard arguments like, oh, it keeps all the straps in, it keeps it together. You just don't need it. That's a very easy thing you can get rid of. Like, find me some people that have not used a waterproof backpack cover and they've had a catastrophe where their entire bag has been flooded. They don't exist. Worst case, your clothes might get slightly damp on one monsoon day where you happen to be trapped outside. Not necessary. So the waterproof bag cover, ditch it. Yes, paying for laundry is something I don't do on the road anymore. I used to do this in the first 10 years of travel, but it's something I stopped doing because my clothes got ruined a few times, or stuff went missing. Stuff took days to eventually come back to me. And the people cleaning your clothes in hostels or hotels or whatever, they don't care about your clothes as much as you do. And if you lose clothes on the road, it's very difficult to find clothes you like to replace them. So what I do now is I use my compression sack, but you can use it just any plastic container or a sink, and I just use shower gel, put it onto my clothes in the places that need cleaning, put it in my compression sack, use warmish water, agitate it, come back in 10 minutes, agitate it again, rinse twice. It's done in 20 or 30 minutes, and most of that time you can be doing something else. And you've got clothes that you know where they are, that you know you're not going to ruin them, you know they're not going to get lost, and you know they're going to be properly cleaned, which you can't say when places clean your clothes for you or you go to a laundry. So, and of course, it's free. So I highly recommend doing your own washing on the road, unless you're in an Airbnb like I am now, which has a washing machine. So I just use that because I'm lazy or whatever. But very easy to wash your clothes on the road. There's almost always somewhere you can do it, and you can hang them up somewhere. So if you're in a hot country, they'll dry very quickly. So paying for laundry, I don't do that. Using full-size headphones. Full-size headphones are huge. And if you don't have them around your neck, they're going to take up a lot of room in your bag. That may mean you need an even bigger bag to travel with. AirPods are a great headphone to travel with. AirPods Pro, because they have noise cancelling in, and you can use them on airplanes or on busy public transport or anywhere that's busy. You can put them in. You can even use them as earplugs in nightclubs. AirPods Pro work great as earplugs in nightclubs. Or airplanes is another great one if you want to sleep on an airplane. Absolutely great. If you're a bit of an audiophile like I am, I also have some in-ear monitors, some Shure SE535s, and I use a small DAC plugged into my iPhone. I'll do a video on that at some point. But these, again, are very small in-ear headphones, take up very little room for travel, but also have high quality audio output. Big headphones don't make any sense traveling. Don't do it. So that was number 10. Number 11, checking bags. You really don't want to be checking bags if you can possibly avoid it. This is a big mistake. Because I touched on this in a previous point. Because firstly, you probably have to get to the airport earlier. You have to queue up to check in often if you want to drop a bag. Sometimes you get a bag drop off that's separate, but even then it's more hassle. Carrying multiple bags is more hassle. Then at the other end you have to wait to pick up the bag. And often these days you will have to pay extra. Sometimes you'll pay 2 or 3 times what the flight cost just to check a bag. To carry stuff with you that you don't need. Trust me, you don't need the stuff in that checked bag. Unless you're snowboarding or something like some very specific reason, you don't need the stuff in that bag, trust me. Number 12, taking too many power supplies. Now, I used to travel with multiple power supplies. Now I just have a single USB power supply which has USB PD, USB power delivery. I'll do a video on this specifically, but it can power 5 different, this is a Sateki charger, it can power 5 different devices at once, including my laptop, charge my phone at full speed as well, and 3 other normal USB devices. So my GoPro, my USB speaker if I'm traveling with that. It's super useful. So all I need is that. It's about this size, it's not big, size of a typical laptop charger, but it charges 5 things at once. And I have a 2-meter power lead for it into the socket of into a European plug or a US plug or wherever I am in the world. That's all you need. So you see a lot of people taking 2, 3, 4, 5 different chargers with them. Now I will now only buy laptops and devices generally that can be charged via USB. So I can charge them all from this one charger. So that saves me quite a lot of bulk and weight in my pack because of that. And number 13, taking ziplock bags. This is something, again, this is a mistake I made. I mean, I graduated to taking ziplock bags because they do have some advantages. You can put stuff in these like tea bags or your toiletries or even underwear or things like that in big ones. Ziplock bags are great for a week or 2, and then they just break, and then you won't be able to replace them. But they are light and in theory airtight for a while at least, but they're not durable. And durability is something I've really can see the benefit of now more than when I started traveling, because especially if you're on the road for a long time, it's going to be difficult to find Ziploc bags. Even if you're happy replacing them every few weeks, it's going to be difficult to find them. And aesthetically, they're gross. They're kind of look like something a homeless guy would have. You know, no disrespect to homeless guys, but for the same reason I don't travel with plastic shopping bags. They're noisy, very noisy in dorm rooms as well. They're just aesthetically gross. They don't look good. They're not durable, and they don't age well. So I recommend against Ziploc bags. Try and find something, alright, it's going to be a bit heavier, something that's more durable. I now have a transparent wash bag from Muji, which I can use in airports. Usually it's fine, just putting that through a security scanner. Sometimes I need to take the stuff out, but not usually. And that has lasted for years. So it's much more durable. So don't take Ziploc bags. So that was the 10 digital nomad mistakes. You may have noticed there were 13 items. I won't tell anyone if you don't, and I will see you guys on the road.